I'm Melissa Greiner. I'm one of the school counselors here at Village School.
Hello, I'm Melody Khalifa, one of the other school counselors here at Village School. We're so excited that you and your families will be joining us this school year. Can't wait to meet all of you. And on behalf of everyone here at Village School, we are so excited that you are part of our community. So in this video, we are going to give you an overview of what Village School is like and how to prepare yourself now and set up for the upcoming school year.
So throughout the video, we're going to be sharing a lot of different information. Remember that you can pause the video at any time if you want to jot down any notes. Also, in the same email that included this video, there's going to be a copy just of the slides that are being used as the backbone for the video. So you can also go through the slides on your own at a slower pace if you want to revisit any of the information.
There are a few things you should do right away to get your child set up at Village School. Select your child's ensemble. Be sure your parent account is set up in Genesis. Be sure you've signed up to receive notifications from the district. And make sure that we've received all of your child's records, such as their academic records, medical records, and any other documentation that we might need to support your child here at school. I'm going to go over all of these in more detail throughout this message. This is just a heads up so you can keep these topics in the back of your mind as we review the information.
Village School has 4th and 5th grade students only. We are referred to as an upper elementary school because we are an elementary school, but only for the upper grades. In any given school year, we have between 700 to 750 students, and there's about 14 to 15 4th grade classes and about 14 to 15 5th grade classes. However, each class is about 20 to 25 students. So even though the size of the school can feel large, your child's experience within the classroom will still feel very personal. Here's our contact information for when you need to reach out to us. You'll definitely want to make note of and bookmark our district website, which is www.ww-p.org. A lot of information is communicated through the district website.
Be sure that you have a copy of our school calendar. This calendar will provide information about what days we are open, when we have closings, days for early dismissal, and so on. We have included a copy of that calendar in the same email that contains the welcome video. In addition, it is a good idea to know how to access the calendar on the district website in the event that the calendar changes. To access it on the district website, go to the home page, hover over calendars, and click on academic calendars. Here you will see a list of other calendars, but for our purposes, click on the 2022-2023 calendar. It's a good idea to have the color-coded version because it helps you understand what the colors stand for. Let's take a look at red days. When you look at the key in the upper right-hand corner, you will notice that days marked in red means we are closed. Yellow days mean that we have an early dismissal and parent-teacher conferences. For more detailed explanations about each date, scroll down along the side of the calendar. For example, October 13th is a date marked in yellow. Looking at the calendar detailed explanation, it shows that it is an early dismissal for K-5 conferences, but it is also an early dismissal for students in grades 6 through 8, also due to conferences. Our school hours are from 8:40 to 3:15. Arrival starts at 8:40 whether a student arrives by bus or parent-guardian drop-off. Dismissal begins at 3:15. You can find the school hours on the district website. If you start at the home page, hover on Parents and Students, scroll down to School Hours, you will notice regular school day, 90-minute delay, early dismissal scheduled, and early dismissal unscheduled. A scheduled early dismissal day is a day that has been planned for an early dismissal. It is a date already included in our school calendar. Taking a look again at October 13th and maybe even February 7th. Those days are marked in yellow and scheduled as early dismissal dates. Sometimes we have unscheduled early dismissal days. That means it is unexpected and not on the school calendar. Looking at the calendar again, March 1st is not color coded, but perhaps we are expecting inclement weather on that day. This district may decide to have an early dismissal on that day, even though there is no color associated with March 1st on that day. Thus, even though it wasn't previously scheduled, it might be called as an early dismissal day due to the snowy weather. Both scheduled and unscheduled early dismissal days follow the same start time of 8:40 and dismissal time of 1 p.m. The difference is lunch. On scheduled early dismissal days, there is no lunch time allotted. For unscheduled early dismissal days, there is time for lunch blocked out. Therefore, the only difference between a scheduled and an unscheduled early dismissal day is lunchtime.
Our school motto is that everyone is a part of the pack. The same way the wolf, our mascot, is at its strongest when it's working together as a team with others. Those in the pack have each other's back, they're working together. The same way a wolf is at its strongest when working together with the pack, that is true for us here at Village School. We are at our best when the whole school community is working together and helping each other out. So we like to say that everyone here is a part of the pack. PAC also stands for the types of behaviors we like to instill in the students. We prompt them to use PAC behavior, with PAC referring to being peaceful, accountable, conscientious, and kind. As mentioned before, Village School has only 4th and 5th grade students, and we are upper elementary. Even though we serve the older grades, it still feels like an elementary school. So by that I mean the students are pretty much with the same teacher all day long. There's no bells, there's no lockers. They still have a special every day and recess every day. Our core academic areas are reading, writing, math, science, and social studies. The classes are all mixed in terms of ability levels. For example, we don't have a class tracked for advanced students or a class dedicated to students who may need more support. In any given class, you'll find students on pace with the curriculum as expected, students who may be more advanced, and students who may need some more support. We are able to differentiate the instruction within each class to match students' different abilities. Typically, what happens with any given subject is that at the beginning of the unit, the teacher does some type of activity to gauge what each student has or hasn't learned about that topic already. Then the teacher is able to plan the instruction accordingly. So let's say the teacher is starting a math unit on multiplication. Before teaching any multiplication at all in the unit, the teacher will do an activity to gauge what each student in the class has already mastered with multiplication and what each student needs to work on. Then from there, the teacher can plan instruction to build on the areas in which each student needs to grow. We do not label students as gifted and talented, and we do not have any assessments to have students enter a G&T program. So for example, we don't have a gifted and talented math program or a gifted and talented writing program that students can test into. Rather, our gifted and talented opportunities are open to all students, and rather than emphasizing a specific subject area like math, it gives students opportunities to research and do projects on subject matters of really high interest to them. If you have questions about gifted and talented opportunities, you should reach out to Dr. Michelle Falanga. She is our staff member at Village School who specializes in those gifted and talented opportunities. There's at least one special scheduled each day. Our specials are art, general music, and technology. They'll have each of those once per week. Spanish is another special, and they have that twice per week. Do not worry if they've never spoken Spanish before. That is not a problem. They'll also have physical education twice per week. They do not need to change for physical education. They just need to wear sneakers. And 5th grade students have health as a special. 4th grade students do receive health. However, it's by their homeroom teacher and it's not a special. In addition to having general music as a special, all students participate in a music ensemble by either singing in the chorus or playing an instrument. Fourth graders can choose between chorus or orchestra. If they choose orchestra, they can play violin, viola, bass, or cello. Fifth graders can choose chorus or orchestra, or they have a third option. They can choose to play in the band. If they choose the band, they can play the flute, oboe, clarinet, or any of the other instruments listed for you here. Your child must choose one and only one ensemble. Each ensemble meets twice per week during the school day. If your child plays an instrument in either orchestra or band, they do not need to have any prior experience playing that instrument. They will receive one lesson in a small group each week during the school day to learn how to play, in addition to the ensemble meeting twice per week. They are also expected to practice at home for 2 hours each week. It's important to note that you'll need to rent the instrument. Financial assistance is available for those who qualify. You can reach out to our main office to learn more about financial assistance opportunities. Your child may change their ensemble choice next school year. For example, if your child chose to be in chorus this school year, they can choose to be in the orchestra or the band next school year if they want to, or they can remain in chorus. You will need to tell us if your child is choosing chorus, orchestra, or band. If they choose orchestra or band, we don't need to know which instrument they want to play at this time. We only need to know which ensemble, orchestra, or band, so we can set up their schedule accordingly. There is a form provided in the same email that contains this video that you should complete to tell us which ensemble your child has selected. Please complete this form as soon as possible, preferably today if you can, so we can set up your child's schedule. If you have any questions about ensemble, please contact Jeffrey Santoro, the Supervisor of Fine and Performing Arts.
Once you know who your child has, you can read the teacher's welcome letter and any additional information that the teacher wants you to know by visiting their webpage. To access their webpage, go to the district homepage. Then click on Schools, scroll down to Village School, and click on Teacher Web Pages. You'll be redirected to another page. There, click on VS Teachers, and VS stands for Village School. Then click on your child's grade level, 4th or 5th. Then click on your child's assigned teacher webpage. So let's click on 4th, for example. And once you know your child's teacher, you'll be able to click on that particular teacher. Another really important list to check out is the supply list. That way, you make sure that you have everything that your child needs before the start of school. To access the supply list, visit the homepage for the school district. Then click on Schools, hover down to Village, click on General Information, and when you scroll down, you will see Village Supply List by grade level. Click on that. And here you will see the 4th grade general supply list, and on the second page, the 5th grade general supply list.
Please make sure that we have all of the records that pertain to your child. The records that we need are things like report cards and test scores, and if they have an IEP, a 504 plan, or a medical plan, we need a copy of that as well. If there's any other legal documentation that relates to your child, for example, if one of their guardians has restricted access to their educational records or is not allowed to pick the child up from school, we need a copy of that documentation as well for us to be able to comply with it. All of that documentation can be submitted to Charmaine Schraft, our secretary responsible for registration and student records. Please also ensure that we have all of the necessary medical records, and those can be shared with our school nurse, Mary Ellen Glynn. Any records that you've already uploaded through Registration Gateway at the time of your initial registration do not need to be submitted again. We already have whatever documents you have already uploaded to Gateway. One of the things that you should get done right away is setting up your parent account in Genesis. Genesis is the electronic system that we use to manage student information and communication, so it's really important that you are able to access that system. You can access Genesis from the district homepage, and there are two ways that you can do that. The first is go to the Parents and Students drop-down menu, select Genesis, and then Parent Sign In. Or you can just scroll to the bottom of the homepage and click on Genesis, which is the star-shaped icon. And then once that page loads up, you can click on Parent Sign In on the right-hand side. And then you'll be able to enter your username and your password. I believe the information that you needed to create your Genesis account was provided to you during the initial registration process. If it was not provided to you at that time or you're having difficulty setting it up, please email the technology department at wwpsis@wwprsd.org. One of the first things you should do once your Genesis account is set up is make sure that all of your contact information is correct, such as your phone number, your email address, your home address, and emergency contact information. Anytime that we need to get in touch with you, such as if your child is not feeling well, or if the teacher wants to reach out to you, or if the district is having like an unexpected early dismissal, we get your contact information from Genesis. So if that information is not correct and up to date, we will not be able to reach you when we need to. So please make sure that information is entered and is correct. Your child's teacher assignment will also be posted to Genesis. If your child is going to be absent, you also let us know through the Genesis system. You would log in and enter their absence for that day and the reason for the absence. Genesis is also where you find out transportation information, such as your child's bus number and their bus stop. Before your child rides the bus, you need to download and print their bus pass. The bus pass must be provided to the bus driver the very first time your child rides the bus. So make sure your child has that bus pass in their hand the very first time they ride the bus and they give it to the driver. You also view your child's report cards on Genesis. Report cards are not mailed home and they're not sent home in the child's backpack. So to view your child's report card, you must be able to log into Genesis. And then in the future, as your child gets to older grades, Genesis is what's used to make their course selections. So as you can see, if you don't have your account set up in Genesis, it's going to be hard to do a lot of things with your child at school. So make sure that account is set up right away.
Another thing you want to make sure you do right away is signing up to receive notifications from the district. The district notification system will notify and update you with any changes regarding school closings, delayed openings, early dismissals, transportation delays, or anything else related to your child and our school district. Thus, it is very important to make sure you sign up as soon as possible to receive these notifications. We have various modes of notification. You can opt in for phone messages, text alerts, and emails, but please ensure that accurate contact information is in Genesis. You can also access our district website at www.ww-p.org. Additionally, we have 3 social media platforms: our Twitter account, our Facebook account, and our Instagram account.
So we know that was a lot of information that we just went over. So let's take a moment to recap what you should be doing next and who you can contact with any questions.
There are a few things you should do right away to get your child set up at Village School. Select your child's ensemble. Be sure your parent account is set up in Genesis. Be sure you've signed up to receive notifications from the district. And make sure that we've received all of your child's records, such as their academic records, medical records, and any other documentation that we might need to support your child here at school. Here is a list of people that you may reach out to if you have any additional questions. For questions regarding submitting records or general registration, please reach out to Charmaine Traft, School Secretary in charge of registration. You can reach out to either myself or Melissa Greiner, Village School Counselors, to discuss supporting your child's academic or behavioral needs. For 4th graders, please reach out to Melissa Greiner. For 5th graders, please reach out to Melody Khalifa. Please reach out to Mary Ellen Glynn, our school nurse, to submit any medical records that you have, or to ask any health-related questions, or if you have any concerns for medical purposes. Please contact our music supervisor of Fine and Performing Arts, Jeff Santora, for questions regarding ensemble. For any questions about Gifted and Talented, please reach out to our Gifted and Talented Resource Specialist, Michelle Falanga. Please reach out to the Technology Department if you need assistance in setting up your Genesis Parent account or have any other technology-related questions. Finally, if you have any questions about transportation, busing, etc., please call the Transportation Department at the number listed below.
We are so excited to welcome you and your child to Village School.
It is such an honor to be trusted with your child. We can't wait to meet you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Bye.
Bye.